Why settle for less when you can see more with Flow? With Flow's digital video service, you get more channels, more customizable video packages, more flexibility with your personal video recorder. Pause, rewind, and record your favorite shows. In other words, we give you more so you can really enjoy the bigger picture.
Flow, watch, talk, click.
This is CC6 Newsnight Weekend Review for July 1st to July 4th, 2013. It was the week in which Little Nikki was released from prison after serving time for the killing of his brother. The Minister of Education began an analysis of the CPEA results, and the police announced there would be zero tolerance for unauthorized juvie activities. In sports, St. George Parish wins under-15 football competition. Details when we return.
Pay your Flow bill in full and on time, and get a chance to win a $500 shopping spree. Yes, 2 grocery shopping sprees to be won. Pay your bill in full at any Flow payment center by June 30th. Fill out an entry form and get a chance to win one of 2 $500 shopping vouchers. What are you waiting for? Come on down to Flow and pay your bill today. Flow, watch, talk, click.
I am Kirani James, and Coop Bank is my bank.
If prosperity really matters to you, come home to Grenada Cooperative Bank. Since 1932, we have shared the same values: financial diligence, investing with prudence, transparent compliance, consistent performance.
Welcome home, Grenada.
No matter the economic climb, we always stand the test of time.
Welcome home, Grenada, the bank that goes the extra mile. Welcome home, Grenada, the bank that serves with a smile.
Welcome to a bank you can truly call your own. Grenada Cooperative Bank.
We care because you matter.
Welcome home.
It's a popular belief that all windows and doors are the same. But at St. Lou Metal, we know the difference. With true Grenadian craftsmanship and precision that gives the best quality and low guaranteed prices, you have a wide variety of windows and doors to choose from. Skylight windows, 2-half kitchen doors, aluminum doors with window inside and screen. We are the doors and windows people. St. Lou Metal, building number 19, Frequente Industrial Park. Call 439-6538.
Thanks for joining us. I am Samantha Williams-Worm. Nicholas Gilbert, formerly known as Little Nikki, who was released from prison on Wednesday after serving time for the violent killing of his younger brother in 2008, is now a promising entertainer looking for a second chance by encouraging positivity among his peers.
Nicholas Little Nikki Gilbert, who has been incarcerated at the Richmond Hill prisons for 8 years after being convicted for the murder of his brother on Wednesday, walked out of the facility a free man. The fatal altercation happened on March 1, 2008, with the victim, Anthony Gilbert, receiving several chop wounds inflicted by his older sibling. On exiting the prison gates, Nicholas spoke with CC6 Newsnight about his 8 years behind bars and says it has been a challenging yet learning experience.
I've used my time, to use my intellect, to help others academically. I've also used my time to help others through peer counseling. I work alongside the prison counselor, Mr. Leon Carnival, and together with the education principal and so on. So I've tried and made the very best use of my time while in prison, and I think I've seen the benefits of that because I see the appreciation before I'm leaving and so on. A lot of guys, come out and they had a ceremony for me and they expressed thanks and so on. So I think altogether it was something bad that turned out to be something good.
Nicholas says during his time at the prison, reflecting on life has caused him to change his focus and try to deter others from making silly mistakes.
The youths out there need to think positively, stay away from crime. That's what I want to say to them, because a lot of people leave prison and they go there and they paint a very negative picture about prison, like if prison is some better rose or something nice, and it's really not that, you understand? So I want to ask the youths, to make a commitment to stay away from crime and violence, stay away from drugs and so on, because when you get inside of here, it's a different ball game, understand? It's bells and, rules and regulations to the max, it's lock up and all your freedoms cut and all of that, and it's not a nice lifestyle, it's not a nice feeling at all, so that's what's up.
His biggest life story, he says, is that of trying to manage his anger.
I must say at this point in time, it definitely have to be that of controlling my anger, you understand? That is what landed me in prison in the first place, and it was really unfortunate. It's something that if I could change, I would definitely do so, but it's something that I cannot, and that must be, because it has been a very fatal error in my case, and I would always live to regret that, because it wasn't just anybody, it was my own brother, so that would have definitely been my most life experience in terms of a bad incident,
Nicholas is hoping for a second chance from society and returning to his place of abode in Dabo, where the killing of his brother took place.
I'm going to have a different residence at this time, but home is always going to be home, but for now I don't think it's the best place for me to actually, land to take up residence at this point in time, but I'm pretty prepared for society, I've always been, despite my mistake and so on, and I just want to say that, I just hoping that, people could really look beyond my error and see me for the person that I really am, the person I've always been.
Nicholas also has plans to continue his studies at the St. George's University and record 3 selections for Spice Mass, which he has written while incarcerated. Sherry Ann Noel, CC6 Newsnight.
It was an emotional morning for families of 2 young men on Thursday morning when they gathered at the St. George's Magistrates Court for the first court appearance of a man accused of murder of another Grand Dance resident.
27-year-old Omar McGilvery made attempts to cover his face on Thursday morning as he made his first court appearance at the St. George's Magistrates Court to answer the charge of non-capital murder. The Grand Dance Housing Scheme resident was slapped with a charge on Wednesday for intentionally and unlawfully causing the death of Junior Thomas, a 32-year-old resident of Grand Dance Valley, St. George. According to a news release from the RGPF, the incident occurred in the Sugar Mill area in Grand Dance on Sunday, and initial investigation revealed the victim received several stab wounds about his body. Brother of the deceased, Keldon Thomas, spoke to the media about what he heard in relation to the fatal incident.
They tell me that my brother went to get eggs and things to come back home. Okay? I don't live at where he live. Okay? I live higher up the road. And when the thing going on, like he go, come back. When he come back now, he was standing, he went across at Saigon Block to get something. And he had other conflict, like the fella front him and thing. And he was like, I don't have time for, this and kind of thing. Away. And he walked away. Okay. Understand? And being as he walked away now, I hear the first one he get is in the back. And when he turn around, he just started stabbing him.
The mothers of both the deceased and the accused were tearful at the courthouse on Thursday morning. Keldon says, however, his brother was trying to turn his life around when the killing took place. But had he not been, the incident could have gone down differently.
My brother, right now, I know my brother as a cool person. At many a time as before, at a younger age and everything like that, if as he front my brother, he would not have walked away. You understand? My brother changed his life a lot. To be honest, telling me, how would I see my brother again? How?
The deceased leaves behind 2 children aged 6 and 8. McGilvery will make his second court appearance on July 25th and is being represented by Ruggles Ferguson. Blossom Alexis Welsh, CC6 Newsnight.
Following the release of results from the 2013 CPA exams in June, education officials are brainstorming how to improve the performance of the young students. And the Minister of Education says one of the measures being put in place will see a slightly different running of the system.
Minister of Education Honourable Anthony Boswain says come 2014 a new formula will be implemented to decide if primary school students are ready to sit the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment. The CPEA was introduced in Grenada in 2012 and comprises of two components, internal and external assessments, which account for 40% and 60% respectively of the students' overall scores. A total of 1,748 students were registered for this year's exam. However, 1,699 were assigned to secondary schools throughout the country, while the 41 students who have been retained at grade 6 following the results of the CPEA will be placed in a remedial program. Addressing the lower house of representatives on Friday, Minister Boswain says, however, going forward, the school officials and personnel from the ministry will reassess who is allowed to sit the exams.
Based on the continuous assessment that will be done throughout the year, students who do not display a certain level of competency in literacy and numeracy will not be allowed to write the examination. It is not fair to the students. So only the students that display that level of competency that shows that they are ready to attend secondary school will be allowed to write the examination. And therefore those who are not fully prepared will be retained and a specialized treatment will be given to them again, Mr. Speaker.
They will experience special diagnosis and intervention, leading to an individualized plan being developed for each child for the next year at least, under a special curriculum.
There is a reasonable expectation among the students based on what happened last year. There was a reasonable expectation that everybody will go through as well. And therefore, although 41 were retained, if we were to follow the script and look at everyone who did not display that level of competency, I'm pretty sure that many more students would have been held back, but we did not want that shock effect. And therefore, only those that showed the real low level of competency, getting 10% or less, were held back for specialized treatment.
Input will also come from selected literacy and mathematics specialists at the school level, and the entire process and student progress will be closely monitored by the technical staff of the Ministry of Education.
In moving forward, in addition to ensuring that the children are adequately prepared, we have to look at the secondary schools and to determine whether, in moving forward, the secondary schools are also equipped to accept children who may not have what they call pure academic tendencies, but may have certain skills which they can develop. And therefore, we are saying that we have to put either in the secondary schools the appropriate structures to treat with those children, or to establish what we are recommending as centers of excellence, whereby those children could be channeled into to develop the skills and the competencies in the area of skills training.
In 2012, 1,722 students sat the CPEA and were all assigned to secondary schools. Wayne Francis Wright, CC6 Newsnight.
When we return, Electoral office calling on eligible people to get registered as the process continues.
Only one dishwashing liquid can do the job. Quicks is the expert in taking out the toughest grease easily. You know you can trust it. Quicks cuts grease better, full stop.
Digicel delivers bigger, better value all day, every day to more people. Talk for 5 minutes and get the next 55 minutes free on that call. Everyone deserves free talk. And with Digicel, your credit lasts longer. Now that's value. Digicel, the bigger, better network.
Breeze removes stains in the first wash. The other detergents, not always. You have to wash it all again and use twice the amount. So, which one costs more? Do the math. Choose Breeze. Unbeatable stain removal.
Welcome back. The Royal Grenada Police Force says it has become necessary to regularize Juve activities during the Carnival season to ensure community safety after members of the public have raised concerns with the holding of impromptu activities that sometimes end violently.
The build-up to Spice Mass 2013 has been dealt a minor blow in the form of a ban on unauthorized Juve events prior to the official Juve celebrations, which are carded for the mornings of August 11th and 12th. An official release from the RGPF says no permission will be given to host such events. Community Relations Officer with the RGPF, Superintendent Dunbar Belfon, spoke to CC6 Newsnight and gives some clarification on the statement.
When we speak about unauthorized Juve, we are speaking about outside that of the actual Carnival Monday and Tuesday. Okay, now Section 21 of the Police Act, right, Chapter 244 of Volume 6, gives the police the right, okay, the legal authority to maintain law and order for the preservation of peace within the state of the country. So the step that we have taken is actually a preventative measure.
He also speaks of the RGPF's move in this direction and the reason for it.
It was a result actually of complaints, several complaints received from the wider community within several villages, okay, about this unauthorized Juve creating problem for road users, residents within the community. Additionally, it actually would place unnecessarily constraint on the Royal Grenada Police Force in terms of its resources, because we do not have the resources to police all these events.
Superintendent Belfon says this drastic step is necessary during the build-up to Spice Mass 2013 to regulate order during the festive season.
Last Sunday, we had a murder that took place in the Sugar Mill area. Now that is the kind of a thing we're trying to avoid. Now the week before, we had another murder taking place within the village of La Fillette in St. Andrew. So a week apart. Now both victims was as a result of, they died violently with the use of weapons. So what we find happen in these sort of uncontrolled activities is that people drink carelessly, they behave unruly and so forth, and there is no control. So you find that situation develop and then it becomes violent and people use violence, and that is kind of a thing that we're trying to prevent.
The superintendent says there must be a balance between individual interests and those of the wider community, and in no way is the RGPF trying to put a dampener on the annual festivities. Wayne Francis Wright, CC6 Newsnight.
Elections have passed and the vast majority of the nation's population have been registered within their parishes, but there are those who have not been registered or have been registered wrong. As a result, a new list is being issued this week by the Parliamentary Elections Office.
The Parliamentary Elections Office says although the last general elections were conducted more than 4 months ago, eligible voters should ensure their names remain on the list of registered voters. The up-to-date list of electors is due out this week, and officials of the Parliamentary Elections Office are stressing the importance of ensuring the personal information held by the office is correct. The last list was issued in March, but Supervisor of Elections, Judy Benoit, says there is still a definite need for individuals to get registered and for the process to be done correctly.
We want to remind people that election or no election, the list goes out as usual according to the representation of the people, and we would like them to check, make sure that the information is correct, and if not correct, then contact the registration officer so that the necessary changes could be made.
Ms. Benoit gives information on where the list can be viewed other than the parliamentary offices.
There are other places, mainly shops, post offices, police stations, parliamentary elections or constituency offices. I think we usually have one at the ministerial complex, financial complex, public places, anywhere there's a library, that sort of thing. And the people know where they are.
She talks about how the public can make adjustments if information seen on the list of electors is incorrect.
There's what we call claims and objections, and there's a day that the registration officer is in office that they can go in there and raise a claim that the name is incorrectly spelled or whatever information is incorrect, and the registration officer will take note of it, do the correction, send it back, and we'll have it corrected.
Ms. Benoit states that the significance to the public in being registered goes beyond general elections due to political climate and changes that takes place constantly, and voters must always be ready. Sherry and Noel, CC6 Newsnight.
It was a packed Grenville car park in St. Andrew over the weekend for the official kickoff of the 4th annual CC6 Carnival Knockout, which saw some memorable performances taking the stage and entertaining the crowd.
Viewers of Community Channel 6 in Grenada, Trinidad and Barbados was given a treat on Saturday as the 4th season of the CC6 Carnival Knockout began at the Grenville Car Park in St. Andrew. The most anticipated show, which is done in association with Wagati Rentals and Song Company and hosted by stand-up comedian Lister Noel, saw performances from 20 artists, some on the Carnival Knockout stage for the first time and others for the second and third. The show began with a sponsors hour followed by guest appearances from Ray Samuel Soka Ray, the 2012 knockout champ Blacker Dan, and two young men who got their break on CC6 Carnival Knockout, Lizard and Madlock, who undoubtedly has the most talked about and played selection at this time in the season, entitled Wash You Know, a song they say is based on a true story. After the soca artists, it was showtime. Here now are some highlights.
And they tried getting late. I think it's time for you go. I think you'll like to go window. And I walk for this carnival. More girl, more girl, more girl. Don't come blocking a drink, so get your oil, get your pill, get your chin and jacket with pill. Everybody wet, the dance team. Everybody wet, nobody blame nobody. I'm a wet than you. I'm a wet than you. I'm a wet than you. Pray, mama, pray. The job come to play. Pray, mama, pray. Tell them clear the way. We playing that, we mashing up all of that. Ringing bell and beating drum. Gang a chop coming down. Leave me with the first round. Leave me with the first round. Leave me with the first round.
Sponsors of CC6 Carnival Knockout 2013 include Flow, Grenada Bottling Company, Hardwine, White Oak, Axe, Lipton, Kleenex, Creative Do It Best, and Presidente, the official beer of the knockout, with additional sponsorship from Halle Barange, Native Food and Fruits, and Just Brands. The second preliminary round of the 4th season of CC6 Carnival Knockout will take place on Saturday, July 6th at the Creative Do It Best car park from 5 p.m. Sherry and Noel, CC6 Newsnight.
Coming up in Sports on 6, preparations intensify for Grenada's defense of Windward Island's secondary school games.
Cool me down. Nothing can hard in my country. So I open up a bakery. Yes.
In order that I should marry.
When did you jump soca? Friendliest people you'll ever meet. Wise man with black stone beside him.
Live on Community Channel 6 every Saturday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's Sound System Saturday.
Grenada, you are being watched by the hardest hitting commentary team ever assembled, and they tell you as they see it every Monday at 8 p.m. on Community Channel 6. Watchdog.
Biting commentary.
A biting commentary. Repeat broadcast Saturdays at 8 p.m.
Biting commentary.
Welcome back. St. George's are the champions of the National Under-15 Boys Football Competition.
The team from the capital city celebrated their latest victory, 5-3, over host St. Patrick at the River Sally grounds on Saturday. Goal scorers for St. Patrick were Veron Charles, Kobe Thomas and Keno Alexander, while Chelon Edgehill scored a brace for the winners with Raheem Stephen, Brandon Hood and Rickel Charles netting one apiece. In another game in the under-15 category, St. David went down to St. Andrew 2-4 at the same venue. In the under-18 division, a goal each from Dylan Ramdeen, Shaquem Charles and Jamal Charles assured St. Andrew their second consecutive victory in the parish tournament at the same venue. The match ended 3-0, which now places St. Andrew in second place in the point standings. Meanwhile, the tournament took an exciting turn on Saturday when St. George and St. Patrick clashed at River Sally in another competitive under-18 encounter. Both teams secured one goal apiece, with Team St. Patrick being the last to score after national midfielder Shavon John Brown smashed the ball at the back of the net to equalize for the home side. President of the Grenada Football Association, Chenny Joseph, who was present for the games, says he is happy to see how the tournament has been running.
Lester Smith has been doing a remarkable job in selling the vision of the Football Association with regards to grassroots. And I also wish to place on record the fact that we have 2 levels of youth competition taking place in Grenada at this point in time is a remarkable improvement from where we were 4, 5, 6 years ago.
One of the main objectives of both competitions is to provide a scouting ground for players to be selected for preparation for the FIFA Under-17 and Under-20 World Cup respectively to be held in 2015.
A strong team of secondary school students are in training to represent Grenada at the 2013 Win Lotto CBN Windward Island Secondary School Games, carded for St. Vincent and the Grenadines from July 26 to August 4th.
With the school term closed, the students train daily and Sports on 6 caught up with the volleyball and basketball teams at the Carnival Sporting Complex on Wednesday morning. Darren Oxford will play for both teams in the competition.
Volleyball. That's the main sport, but I also do good in basketball.
Okay. Yeah. And you recently represented Grenada in a regional competition. How do you think that would help you for secondary school games?
Well, the experience in the Nausicaa competition was very good because I played against more experienced players. So in this junior tournament, I think I'll do very well.
Renisha Stafford is one of the star athletes and will compete in volleyball, basketball, netball and track and field.
Well, for me, I dominate in all sports. In volleyball, recently I come out on national competition. So I fit for the volleyball game. I don't go in netball practice yet. Basketball, I just take shots now and then. Athletics, I don't train for athletics yet, but then when they reach, I'm sure I will dominate.
Shania John won MVP for the women's basketball team last year and will represent Grenada for the 4th consecutive time in the regional competition.
We want to win this year, but we're training hard.
How strong is the team for the competition?
Well, every year we are close and winning, so I guess this year we go take the competition again.
Who you think may be your toughest competition?
Dominica.
Kevin Cox, a former MVP for the boys basketball team, is optimistic about their chances.
When we went to Dominica, I was the MVP of that year, and last year was a teammate of mine. He's still on the team this year, so with us combined and the bunch of talented players on the team together with us, I think we could pull off this one this year.
And what would you say is the strength of the Grenada basketball boys team?
Well, the strength of our team is both defense and offense, because on the offensive end, we have guys who can run down the court really quick. So we get fast breaks, we get easy baskets, and on the defensive end, we have tall guys like Pencil, Ron, Bynum, and Akim who could block shots and pull down the board. So we could pull this off this year with the team we have.
The coaches of the various sporting disciplines, netball, basketball, volleyball, football and track and field, are expected to select the final teams later this month.
That's all we have for you in Sports on 6. A recap of the headlines is next. Recapping the headlines, it was the week in which Little Nikki was released from prison after serving time for killing his brother. The Ministry of Education began an analysis of the CPA results, and the police announced there will be zero tolerance for unauthorized juve activities. In sports, St. George Parish wins the Under-15 football competition. That brings us to the end of CC6 Newsnight Week in Review for July 1st to July 4th, 2013. Top stories from CC6 Newsnight can also be seen on our Facebook page, Flow Community Channel 6. On behalf of the news team, I'm Samantha Williams-Worm, thanking you for joining us.